Hello and welcome back to Elecspo, and thank you for joining us for the third instalment of our Football Manager 2015 Newcastle United career. As you saw in the last episode, if you watched it, if not, there's a link in the description below, we qualified for the Champions League in our first season. So we have done the first half a season of our second season where we're competing in the Champions League group stages, and let's take a look at how we got on. But before we go any further, we'll just have a look at how we did in the transfer market. Again, even though we'd qualify for the Champions League, the richest coming in, Mike Ashley barely gave us a penny to spend. We got 15 million, which is the same we got for the first season. So we've kind of just been scraping around for any bargains we can. We've got loan players back. So first up, we've got Raul Jimenez in. He cost £2.9 million from Atletico Madrid. He was on the transfer list. I'm not sure why. He was doing quite well for Atletico. In a Newcastle shirt, it has not been good. 1 Premier League goal in 13 games, 3 goals in all competitions. It's been hard knowing where to play him because, if he's not good enough for the Premier League, he's not going to be good enough for the Champions League. Then we got Andrei Yarmolenko. He was the marquee arrival. I mentioned in the previous video that we'd had a bid accepted for him and we couldn't agree on a contract. I decided I just had to go back in for him and, bite the bullet. Take a look at him here. He's on £75,000 a week, valued at 17 million. 9.5 million plus a few add-ons. He's had a decent start, 3 goals so far. Rating of 7.09. No assists though, that's slightly worrying from my left winger, but that's alright for the minute. We've got Mikel Arteta in just as a backup centre midfielder. Came in, callback assault to Aston Villa. So I thought we'd best get another body in. And to be honest, hasn't been very good. He's made 5 appearances so far, got 1 assist, a rating of 6.76. But I'm not really that bothered. For all I care, he can sit in the reserves. He's just sort of there, just in case we got a few injuries. And the other signing was Joe Gomez, one for the future. Still a teenager, he's only 18, bless his heart. £1.8 million. He's played in one, don't remember playing him, but he got 6.8, that's not bad. We'll have a look at his report here. Potential ability 4.5 stars, so he could be an excellent player. At the minute though, he's not quite ready, but that's fine. He's just sitting there. At the minute, I think I've kind of just got him in the squad because I need him for the homegrown quarters. That was a big issue. Why did I sell Sammy Amiobi? Look at departers. Since we last checked in, Emmanuel Rivier's gone on loan to St Etienne. Thank God we got rid of him. Lascelles gone on loan to Leeds. That'll be good experience. Obertan sold finally. Bigger Romana on loan, Satka on loan, Vukic on loan, Good on loan, and Babu on loan, Kemen on loan, and Alex Gideon on loan. All those players will have no future at Newcastle United. I can guarantee that. They will not play for the club. Adam Armstrong, he's gone to Ipswich. Look at how he's doing. 7 goals and 12 appearances. That is pretty good. Whether he breaks into the Newcastle team, I do not know. But anyway, I digress. Let's have a look at how we've been getting on. As we click on our schedule. Preseason wasn't very good. We didn't lose a game, but we had draws with Derry, Oldham, and then this was a good draw. We played Bayern Munich because I wanted to get some Champions League experience just to really test ourselves. And we got a 1-1 draw. That's pretty good. Jorginho Wijnaldum with the goal. In the James Coppinger testimonial, we beat Doncaster just to break some hearts there. Another Jorginho Wijnaldum goal. And then we had Salzburg at home, 2-0 win. Raul Jimenez and Andrei Yarmolenko. At that point, I'm thinking, great, we've absolutely nailed the transfer market, but how wrong we were. We started the season 2-2 draw with QPR. God, we were desperate. We got 2 penalties. Papi Cissa scored them both. But we were just so poor. And it was this point I'm thinking, maybe we're not quite as... Maybe we were fluked last season. We came in 3rd. Then we got a win against Reading. We beat Blackburn. And then a 3-3 draw with Swansea. Papi Cissa, another 2 goals. Papi Cissa's been amazing, by the way. Let's have a quick look at him. 12 goals and 20 appearances so far. It's only in the past few weeks and games that he hasn't been scoring. At the start of the season, he was averaging about a goal every game. He's been amazing. Against all odds, obviously does not want Raul Jimenez to succeed. But then we come to the Champions League, and I could not believe my luck in the Champions League. Let's go to Group G. That's not the right thing. Stages. As you can see, there's a knockout round who didn't make it. To Group G we go. Barcelona, Porto, and AC Milan. What chance did we have? What an awful draw. I couldn't believe. Some great European nights for the Toon faithful, but dear me, what chance did we have? We started away at the new camp as well, just to make things even more difficult. Patrick Cisse did get a goal there. 2-1, not a bad result. Next up, AC Milan, a 2-2 draw. Then it was another 2-2 draw against Porto. At this point, I'm thinking, we're really holding our own, but, we're not winning, but we're not disgracing ourselves by any means. Then came a loss to Porto, 3-1, at home, disappointing. This game against Barcelona here, 4-3 to Newcastle. What a game. I've never been so excited with a game of Football Manager. It was amazing. I mean, we were losing in the first minute, courtesy of Luis Suarez. And then at half-time, it was 4-1. We were 4-1 up against Barcelona. It's a comical own goal by Ter Stegen, then Van Dijk, Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum knows all about scoring against Barcelona in the Champions League. And then they got 2 back, Suarez and Iniesta. So it was a nervy final 20 minutes, but we got over the line and set up a final game against AC Milan, knowing that a win would put us through to the next round. Barcelona were beating Porto in their last game. So it was a 3-3 draw. I mean, it was an incredible game at the San Siro, but we couldn't get over the line. Just say there, we got 6 points. Porto qualified on 7. So if we had beat AC Milan at the San Siro, we'd be into the knockout stages. But alas, no, we're going to have to settle for the Europa in the second half of the season. If you scroll down to fixtures, you can see we're playing Sevilla, the absolute champions of the tournament. I don't think they are the actual champions, but historically Sevilla are amazing in the Europa League. So we're going to have to play them, unfortunately. But in the Premier League, we'll go to the table now. 20 games in, we're just on the brink of the January transfer window opening, and we're 4th. Yet again, we're challenging for the Champions League football. But the only issue for me is we're not playing anywhere near as good as we were last season. We've got 10 wins so far, 6 draws, 4 losses, that's right. We're only 8 points off Chelsea in top spot with a game more played. Southampton are the surprise package this season. They're basically doing what we did. They're just a point below. But I mean, we're ahead of Tottenham, we're ahead of Man United, we're ahead of Arsenal. Reading look dead for already, 10 points behind. There's top scorers. Sergio Aguero, 19 goals in 20 games, that's amazing. But Cisse there, he's doing his bit. Most clean sheets, Tim Krul, 8. Very good. Excuse me, sorry. So anyway, back to the league. Our first, went unbeaten for quite a while, and then we played Tottenham away. It was a Fabrizio Colaccini own goal that settled it. That was pretty devastating. And then we lost to Chelsea. So that was pretty bad. But, I mean, form hasn't been... It's been alright. We just haven't been convincing. The League Cup's been going well. We're into the we're into the semi-finals. We're playing Liverpool. In the quarter-final, we'll beat Leicester. Jose Perez in the 78th minute. Leicester, obviously, championship club because they got relegated last season. But we're on a decent run now, you can see it. We got beat by Man City after the Champions League heartache. It was only 1-0, not bad. Then we beat Leicester, and then it was a 3-3 draw with Liverpool. That was a great game. And after that, what a result this was. 5-0 against Arsenal. I mean, this showed we were over the Champions League disaster. 5-0 against the Gunners. 2 for Cisse, 1 for Colaccini, 1 for Cabella, and 1 for Raul Jimenez. So at this point, I'm thinking, maybe this could be the start of something. Maybe for £2.9 million, Raul Jimenez could be an inspired signing. But I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Then we'll beat West Brom 1-0. Johan Gouffran, he's still there, plying his trade. And a 1-1 draw with Reading. That was really disappointing. And next it's Liverpool in the FA Cup. And we're playing Liverpool a lot here. We've just played them in the league away. Now we've got them away in the FA Cup. And then in the middle of January, we've got 2 games against them in the League Cup semi-final. I'd love to make that final, but we're going to have a lot of games coming up if we can navigate our way through the Europa League. I know we've dropped out of the Champions League, but that doesn't mean we're going to do particularly well in the Europa League. I wouldn't even make us favourites against Sevilla, but I suppose we'll see how we can get on. Going into the January transfer window, I would maybe like another winger. But, 3.5 million. £100,000 wage budget is pretty good. Looking at who's available, Cheryshev, I've wasted my time with him in the past on Football Manager. I'd quite like someone who can play on the right. Maybe Bernardo Silva. I'd want to sign Bernardo Silva just for the fact that it's Bernardo Silva. But in reality, I don't think it would be a good idea, so we'll probably not do that. Anders Townsend's there, could be an option. We'll just wait and see. We're not desperate. I'm just slightly wary with the amount of games coming up that that we could need to. And Iosa Perez is currently a wanted man by Wolfsburg. The problem is a lot of my good players are becoming targets for other teams. Virgil van Dijk is wanted by Inter Milan. Daryl Janmaat is wanted by Leverkusen. So we need to qualify for at least the Europa League again, just to try and keep with players next season. I mean, it's only halfway through and I'm already thinking about next season. That's just the way I operate. So coming up, let's see, we've got that FA Cup game. Then it's QPR, Blackburn, Swansea. That could be 9 points on the board. That could really cement ourselves as top 4 contenders once again. But I mean, the gap isn't, I mean, we're only 3 points ahead of Man United in 8th. So that this could very easily go wrong and prove that maybe the first season was a little bit of a fluke. What else do I need to look at? We'll have a look at how a few of the players have been getting on. Moussa Sissoko, still the main man. Average rating is 7.5. He's doing even better this season. 5 assists. I didn't realise he got 13 assists last season. That was incredible. He's got 5 so far already. His average rating 7.5. That's excellent. Jorginho Wijnaldum. Let's have a look at him. 6 goals, 4 assists, 7.4. So he's got 2/3 of the goals he got last season. He's doing great, which is really good to see. Remy Cabella also doing well. 5 goals, 4 assists. Let's have a look at Perez. And he's got 3 goals and 6 assists. It's not bad. The thing with Perez is he doesn't consistently score, so I can never really justify playing him as my main striker. But his ratings are so good, I kind of can't not play him, because otherwise he's going to get mad, not play, and want to leave, and I've lost potentially one of my future best players. So it's a little bit of a minefield there. Defensively, David Santon, I mean, he came back from on loan from Inter Milan, I think it was. Yes, it was Inter Milan. And I just thought, he can play left back, he can play right back. Well, might as well get him in the squad, even if he's not going to play. He's played 10 times this season so far. He's doing all right. Just rotating him in when we have to. But other than that, I mean, things are going all right. I'm slightly worried that things could go wrong at any point. I don't know how that Champions League campaign happened. It was so dramatic and it still ended in heartache. But anyway, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you want to see part 4, where we look at how we got on in the second half of the season, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, then I'll know you're interested. But until next time, we will see you around. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. But until next time, we'll see you around.